Hello, my dear friends. So, welcome back. Welcome to your channel, Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos, guys. Thanks a lot for your love, affection, and support. So, today in this video, let's try to understand Vipreet Raj Yoga. What exactly Vipreet Raj Yoga is, how this Raj Yoga is formed in your own birth chart, and what are the results this Raj Yoga is going to provide you. I'm going to explain you everything in detail in this video. First of all, if I talk about the word Vipreet, Vipreet means something opposite, some kind of adverse situation, and Raj Yoga means very auspicious thing, some kind of auspiciousness that is present in that adverse situation in your life. So the Vipreet Raj Yoga means whenever any person going through some kind of adversity in his or her life, after that adversity, the person is going to receive lot of big fortune, or you can also consider it as a rags to riches stories. Also Vipreet, the word Vipreet means something adverse, adversity. Exactly, if I talk about Vipreet Raj Yoga, in order to form this Raj Yoga in your own birth chart, look at the planets that control your 6th house, 8th house and 12th house. These houses are also known as the Dustana houses. Dustana means something malefic that is present inside that three houses. Because 6th house deals with the debts, litigations, your enemies, dealing with disease, and all such kind of things. 8th house represents your sudden ups and downs in your life. 8th house also represents your longevity, the kind of emotional ups and downs that you are going to experience in your life. And the 12th house, it represents loss of something, loss of energy, loss of expenses, loss of money. So all that three houses, these three houses are known as Dustana houses. And in order to form a Vipreet Raj Yoga in your chart, the 6th house lord, 8th house lord and the 12th house lord. If the 6th house lord is posited in the 6th house, 8th house lord it is also posited in the 8th house, and the 12th house lord it is posited in the 12th house. So then Vipreet Raj Yoga is formed. Whenever 6th house lord it is posited in the 6th house, it is known as a Vipreet Raj Yoga. Vipreet mean because whenever any planet that sits in its own sign, that planet is never ever going to destroy that house or that area of your life. Let me give you one example. Suppose planet Mars is sitting in the sign of Aries in your 6th house. It is a Vipreet Raj Yoga because here Mars in its own sign, and this also signifies like after getting into a fight with some individual, or after dealing with lot of adverse situations related to loan, litigation or some kind of a court cases, you are going to find win over that situation, and then you will receive lot of fortune. By acquiring a lot of debt in your life, you can become millionaire or billionaire. This is that kind of a yoga, because 6th house, whenever any planet, just look at the planet that controls the 6th house, if it is posited in that house, then this Raj Yoga is formed in your birth chart. Secondly, whenever 8th house lord it is also posited in the 8th house, then also Vipreet Raj Yoga is going to form. Suppose planet Venus that is posited in your 8th house in the sign of Libra, you are getting married and getting divorce in your first marriage, and after divorce you again get married. It means you are getting some second marriage in your life, and that second person with whom you are getting married, that person is a multi billionaire or millionaire. So then you can also become that multi billionaire or millionaire. Similar case with any planet that is sitting in the 12th house. Suppose Jupiter controls your 12th house with the sign of Pisces, and Jupiter is posited in the 12th house of your expenses and expenditure. It means all your expenses, the kind of expenses which you are doing, they may get converted into some kind of investments. Chances of winning a lottery is present in your birth chart because 12th house represents some kind of expenses. Maybe you spend some $1, $2 or up to $10 on a lottery ticket, and then buying a lottery, you may win that lottery and attain a marvelous fortune in your life. So that is the first stage when the Vipreet Raj Yoga is seen, and with the planetary placements, because every planet governs something different, and this is the first situation in order to find out whether I am having a Vipreet Raj Yoga in my birth chart or not. Secondly, whenever 6th house lord it is posited in the 6th house, 8th house and even the 12th house. 8th house lord that is posited in the 6th house, 8th house and 12th house, and similarly with the 12th house lord. If 12th house lord that is posited in the 12th house, 6th house and 8th house, then also this Vipreet Raj Yoga is going to form in your birth chart. But there is some complexity whenever 6th house lord it is going in the 8th house, or 8th house lord goes in the 12th house. You must have to check the planetary strength in order to determine whether this yoga is very, very powerful or going to give some kind of a good results or not. Because if 6th house lord it is going in the 8th house, suppose sun controls your 6th house and it is posited in the 8th house, so it is getting debilitated over there, because the sign of Leo, then Virgo and the Libra. So it means sun is getting debilitated in the 8th house. Then this yoga is not having that kind of a auspiciousness present behind this thing. Also, whenever like 6th house lord, suppose it is posited in your 12th house, this Raj Yoga is formed, yes, I understand. But you must have to check the strength of the planet, whether the planets they are in good dignity, like they are posited in their own sign or they are exalted over there. Then you can experience the Vipreet Raj Yoga in your chart. Also, the practical situations which I have already seen with around 3 to 4 individuals, and that I know them very personally, that are having that Vipreet Raj Yogas in their birth chart. Due to some constraint, I will not be able to share their birth charts with you. But the one of them having placement of Venus in the sign of Libra in the 8th house, and the story which I am telling you, that after getting divorce, the person is getting second marriage, and then he married to some very rich class and very rich high class family, and the person is going to receive a lot of fortune. So these kind of situations are specially going to occur. Regarding the timings, if you ask me like what are the time period, if, like I'm having such combination in my birth chart. See, regarding timings, you must have to wait till the Mahadasha of the planet that controls your 6th house, 8th house and 12th house. Because you must have to check that planetary strength in your higher divisional charts as well. It is not like that this yoga is only, you can judge this yoga by just looking at your own birth chart. You are looking into birth chart, okay, 6th house lord Jupiter is posited in the 6th house. It means I'm going to receive some kind of a fortune. Yes, you are going to receive some kind of a fortune. But please check the strength of the planet Jupiter in your higher divisional charts as well. Along with this, Bhav Chalit Chakra, you also have to look at your Bhava chart or Chalit Chakra chart in order to determine whether this yoga is going to form or not form in my life. Because every person somewhere in their life, they are going to face some kind of adverse situations. Suppose you are going for a job interview, you got selected in that company and you received a like very good amount of package, yearly package in that company. You getting placed over there, and within a joining of 1 month, the company faces some kind of a very huge loss, and they have to shut off their everything and they have to relieve all of their employees, and you are getting fired after getting job for the 1 month. You complete 1 year period and then you are still jobless. It means some kind of adverse situation that is present with Vipreet Raj Yoga planets. Anything adverse, because especially with the planets, look at the planets. With the Venus, something adverse with related to your marriage. With Jupiter, some kind of adversity is connected over there, especially with respect to your family, finances. With planet Mars, some kind of adverse situations that are going to come through your enemies as well. Suppose you are having some enemies at your workplace, or you are a businessman or having some kind of a competitors that are present in that business areas, and through that persons, through your competitors, you are going to rise up in their life. So that is mean rising out of adversity. And yes, this Raj Yoga is going to, firstly, it is going to bring some kind of adverse situations, because you must have to deal with some kind of a unknown event, something unexpected, something not very favorable, because Vipreet Raj Yoga is totally opposite of the Raj Yoga. You must have to have understanding of what exactly Raj Yoga is in order to understand truly what is Vipreet Raj Yoga doing in my chart. Because Raj Yoga means something very auspicious, something is which is very auspicious that is present in my birth chart. And by looking at the planetary placements, you can judge what are the auspiciousness that is connected with my own life. Similar cases with the Vipreet Raj Yoga as well, because it is a reversal of the misfortune. After getting into some kind of adverse situation, you are going to rise up in your life. And especially with the planetary placements, I'm going to tell you, Mercury, it is a significator of a business. So suppose Mercury is posited in the sign of Virgo in your 12th house, and 12th house represents some kind of a losses, some kind of a expenditure that is connected with planet Mercury in the 12th house. It shows you have spent some kind of a money upon something, and that portfolio suddenly brings a lot of money in your life. Similar cases with all the other planetary alignments as well. Because in order to form Vipreet Raj Yoga, you must have to deal with some kind of adverse life situation. And by dealing with that adverse situation, you are going to get very, very fortunate in your life. Suppose you are a homeless person, you don't have your parents, your family, nothing is there present in your life. Maybe you are adopted by some kind of a billionaire person. He is going to adopt you as soon as you hit the Mahadasha or Antardasha of the planets that are controlling your 6th, 8th and 12th house. So that is exactly on the first half, there is some kind of a sufferings, and after sufferings you are going to rise and shine in your life. Then it is going to give you lot of success. Especially this Vipreet Raj Yoga, if it is occurring with the positive and benefic planets like Venus, Mercury, even Moon and Jupiter. If that benefic planets, they are forming that thing, that yoga in your birth chart, then yes, I'm telling you, there are over 90 to 95% chances you are going to feel the impact in your life. Look at the nature, look at the things that are around you, because sometimes nature always giving you some kind of a hints in your life, but because of your own failures, you are not catching that kind of events that nature is going to provide you. Look at the birds, look at the insects, look at the human beings, look at something, because nature always tries to give you some kind of a hint. If this yoga is formed in your birth chart, it means nature is always trying to give you some kind of a hints in your life. And if you catch that hint, or if you catch or grab that opportunity, you are going to rise up in your life. Apart from this, with the malefic planets, especially with Mars, Saturn, especially with these two planets, Mars, Saturn, even the Sun as well. If this Vipreet Raj Yoga is going to formed in your birth chart, it means some kind of a sufferings related to that planet. Suppose Sun, it is posited in the 8th house in the sign of Leo. It means Sun is very, very strong, and Sun represents government, political officials, dealing with some high level individuals in your life. So suppose you are into some kind of a government field, or you will receive some kind of a huge benefit from the government and even the politics as well, because Sun represents politics also. So in similar way, you must have to check the planetary placements and then relate that planetary placements with your own life. Then you are going to experience and see how this Vipreet Raj Yoga is going to form. Because yes, this Raj Yoga is work, I'm telling you, rags to riches, that stories that are connected with these kind of Raj Yogas, like with the Neech Bhang Raj Yoga, especially Vipreet Raj Yoga, because it is a very, very powerful thing. Never ever underestimate, I'm telling you once again, if any person that is having Vipreet Raj Yoga present in his or her birth chart, Please never ever underestimate. Suppose right now he's not going from a right period. He may find some kind of a very adverse situation, dealing with lot of difficulties. But as soon as that time period of that exact planet is going to hit, that planet is taking that individual from rags to riches. Similar cases with the Neech Bhang Raj Yoga as well. Because especially these two Raj Yogas, Neech Bhang and that Vipreet, this clearly symbolizes you are raising up in the life by facing some kind of adverse situations. And the Raj Yogas which are given by Vipreet Raj Yogas, it is going to be a everlasting. It is not like that you are receiving a lottery in your life and you are spending whole such amount of money and after that you get bankrupt or you don't have any money. Vipreet Raj Yoga is going to stay for a longer duration of time. Understand this thing also. Similar case with the Neech Bhang Raj Yoga as well. If these yogas are formed in your birth chart, it is going to be a consistent thing. You will experience the energy of these Raj Yogas till your entire life. So that is the analysis of Vipreet Raj Yoga. I hope you liked this video and found some kind of insights regarding the Vipreet Raj Yoga. If you have any queries and questions regarding your own astrological birth chart and wanted to know what are the kind of impacts you are going to receive if you are having that kind of a yoga or not, then please contact me at my mail ID. I will respond you back within 48 hours after receiving your email. So till then guys, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it below and make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. So till then, please take care of yourself. I will meet you very soon in the next video. Bye bye and take care.